This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
It is Financial Straight Talk, and it's all powered by Wadadley Financial Group with Jim Fox. I'm Kevin McAlpin. Thanks, as always, for joining us. And, of course, we hope that today's show has been informative for you. And if it's left you with questions or maybe wanting to learn a little bit more, pick up the phone. Call Jim and his team today. That number is 321-414-7526. Again, 321-414-PLAN. Online, you can schedule your consultation right there on the website. It's getfst.com. Well, Jim, we talked about this a few weeks ago on the show. Mother Nature throwing a bit of a curveball to folks just a little bit to the north. Last month, we know she hit the panhandle with up to 10 inches of snow. Now, let's stop right there. Let's be honest. You moved to Florida. You moved south to get away from that nonsense. Yeah, no, that's not really Florida, right?
It's not Florida. I'll tell you right now. Listen, so we voted here in Central Florida, right? Anybody that got 10 inches of snow, you're now part of Georgia or Alabama. You get to pick, though, so it's up to you. But if snow touched you, you can't be Floridians anymore. You got to turn in your sandals. You can now wear your socks and sandals together, but you cannot just wear sandals moving forward if you had snow. That's the rule.
I think my favorite video to come out of that storm was in Pensacola. Guys driving around in the back of a pickup truck with a little red Solo cup, just splashing some salt out into the street. It didn't work. Newsflash. That didn't prevent the roads from getting snowed and ice. Did you see that video, by the way?
No, but nothing surprised. It's Florida, man. Listen, God help them, because if it happened here, we're breaking the fins off the surfboards. We're duct taping our feet to it, and we're getting pulled by the four wheelers. Okay, that's the way it's going to work.
Right.
There's no question how much fun it would be, but no, man, no. But here's what I want to know. How are we going to turn this into a finance story? That's what I want to know, Mr. Radio Man. Go ahead. What you going to do?
There's always a way. You ready for this one? You ready? Well, essentially, those folks in the Panhandle were caught off guard. They're not expecting snow. Nobody expects snow this far south. But tying it into retirement planning, we can also find some unexpected things that pop up. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe it's a loss of a job, health issues, or death of a spouse. So, Jim Fox, I ask you, how can you help folks in these circumstances, in these situations, when it comes to being prepared, having that plan underneath them for the unexpected that life might throw at you?
Ladies and gentlemen, my setup man, Mr. Kevin McAlpin, doing what he's doing best, which is handing me the softest ball in the world to hit. So
there you go.
Thank you, sir, because the magic word here is plans, right? Mm-hmm. Now, for those of you who've been around for a while, I love my little terms, and Kevin's heard a lot of them. We're gonna revisit one of my favorite plans. As a Marine, everyone's heard of Semper Fidelis, shortened to Semper Fi, always faithful, and absolutely love that, love it. I coined a very, very technical phrase in the financial world called Semper Gumby, always flexible, because it's important that your plans ebb and flow with the reality of life, right? And it could be maybe a presidential election that doesn't go the way you want. Maybe it's, interest rates don't do what they need to do. Maybe it's a death. Maybe it's a divorce. But if you have a plan, and if that plan is Semper Gumby, if it's flexible and you communicate and you work through it, it's amazing how you can adapt. And, I talk all the time about my bucket strategies, right? Because I want people to envision their retirement plan. I don't want it to just be a bunch of numbers. Now, yes, I get it. You L3 Harris guys, and you McDonnell Douglas, and all you SpaceX, you guys love the numbers, and so do I. Rock on. But there's some people out there who don't want the numbers. They want pictures, right? And they want to understand it. So we use a bucket strategy to simplify retirement so you can envision it, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you math nerds, I'm with you along the way here. We want to talk about probability. It's the same story. So what do we do? How do we make this work? Well, let me just give you an example of a real life case that we've been working on. And I'm excited. We haven't brought it back to the client yet. Very, very kind of standard story here. A retired veteran. So that veteran is getting their pension, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. They're getting VA benefits. And I don't know how much you know about those, Kevin, but in a lot of cases, they're going to be non-taxable, right? So that's free money coming through the door that Uncle Sam isn't taxing you on. pension.
Right.
Those two, add those two up, that's $4,700 basic. Well, what the wife would lose if they passed away, because typically the way pensions work is that, the spouse loses about half of it on the military side, right? Mm-hmm. So just between the loss of VA benefits and the pension, she's down $4,700 if he dies a month.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But here's a funny thing about it. They're also taking Social Security. Mm. And the way that works is if your spouse passes away, you don't get to keep both Social Securities. The smaller of the two pretty much disappears, right? Mm-hmm. This lady is going to lose $6,700 a month.
Wow.
If he passes away. Now he's in great health. Don't get me wrong. And let's hope that this never happens. But eventually it will, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. So we are already talking about how do you make the adjustments? What are the things that you need to do today? So if this happened 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, that you don't get sideswiped and then have to have this massive downward adjustment to income, right? Mm-hmm. That is what planning looks like. And everybody here has a different story. Not everybody's going to have the VA benefits. Matter of fact, less and less people have the pensions. But one thing that a lot of married couples do have, Social Security. Mm. And what happens if you woke up tomorrow and the lowest of that Social Security disappeared? How much would that rock the budget to the household? What is the plan to adjust if that were to happen? Let's hope, good Lord willing, that doesn't happen until you're in your 80s or 90s and you guys go back to back and it's no big deal. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, this is what planning looks like. And, my dad's so funny. So he's a good old country boy from Boaz, Alabama, originally born on Sharp Tooth Mountain up near Ellijay, right? Jasper, Georgia. Yeah. And he had a saying for everything. And, my dad would always talk about, we'd say if this and maybe that. And my dad would always say, and we've all heard the different ifs, but my favorite of my dad would always say, if worms had machine guns, birds wouldn't mess with them. All right. Now, obviously, Dad didn't. You get the radio edited version of that. My dad had a slightly different way of saying it. But my point is we can what if this to death, right? Uh-huh. But what I need you to know is that when you sit down with somebody who focuses on retirement planning, we can't plan for every what if, but we need to at least have some understanding and some contingencies if things maybe do happen. Divorce is horrendous, guys. And what's crazy is you think, Kevin, that, you've been together 45 years and now you're 60. The likelihood of divorce isn't very high. And it really isn't. But do you know what happens? Pretty frequently. I would say I deal with at least 2 divorces, maybe 3 a year. And I've done so for the past 15 years. Mm-hmm. That's a weird thing to deal with, right? So there's all these things that we have to think about. The only way to make these things work is to have a plan. Now, some of you guys are already way into retirement. So will a plan benefit you? Absolutely, right? We still can plan. But obviously, the best way to lose weight, the best way to make things work, make plans work, to get your finances in order is to start as early as possible, right? That's the goal here. So if you're not retired or you're nearing retirement, you're in the sweet spot. Now we can come out. Now we can make some decisions that are really going to impact you. If you're newly retired, we still have a little bit of time. The older you get, the more probable death becomes, right? Because you're getting older and older. We've got to be working with you no matter where you are in retirement. But if you don't have a contingency plan, if your current plan isn't Semper Gumby, flexible and ready to go, and if you don't even know what would happen if your spouse passes away and how you would react to it, guys, that's just one more reason why you got to give us a call. This is what we do day in and day out. And listen, we're not going to sit here and play the what game and the what ifs and all the other kind of stuff. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. We don't do any of that kind of stuff. We want to work with the facts that we have and make the best decisions. That is what my team does each and every day. I'm so proud of Kevin, what they do for people, because they take these complex scenarios and they really find a way to keep it simple, to really make it make sense for everybody, regardless of if you are an L3 Harris engineer engineer with 2 electrical engineering degrees and all the other nonsense, or if you're a school teacher who never wanted to do any of this stuff, or you're just a self-employed guy who just saved a bunch of money. I don't care where you are in the story. We build plans that make sense for you so you can make the right decision for you and your family. All you got to do is pick up the phone and give us a call. Kevin, I'll hand it to you, let you wrap us up.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot. And hey, I got to say, we have gotten a number of different topics covered today. We got financial weenies in, we got Semper Gumby, and oh, by the way, I'm seeing a merchandise line coming around for Jim Fox here.
Financial Straight Talker merch. Yeah,
right.
man,
if
it's
worms
coming.
had machine guns, birds wouldn't be scared of them. Is that did I get that right?
Yeah. Obviously there's another word that Dad used.
Well, we'll leave that to everyone's imagination. But I'm envisioning a whole merchandise line here. This has got some legs. We'll work on that. In the meantime, for all of our listeners out there, quick reminder, Jim and his team, they're standing by to talk with you today. Pick up the phone, give them a call. That number is 321-414-7526. 321-414-PLAN. Online, it's getfst.com. Mr. Fox, I don't know how you're going to top all that, but I will leave you the final word here as we do each and every week, sir.
Thank you, sir. Well, every week, Kevin, I want to say thank you, guys. We know that you have tons of options when it comes to getting information. We're honored to be one of those resources. So if there's anything we can do for you, don't hesitate. Reach out, give us a call. We're here to answer those questions. But with all that being said, on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.